Hello all, my name is Adonis and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing an Aries love coming spread for the week of February 2nd into the 8th. So let's get after it. Okay. Sun, rising Venus and Jupiter. Sun, Moon, rising Venus and Jupiter. Sun, Moon, rising Venus and Jupiter. Sun, Moon, rising Venus and Jupiter. Show me the cards I need to see. Show me the cards I need to see. What kind of energy is coming towards my Aries during the week of February 2nd into the 8th? What kind of energy is coming towards my Aries during the week of February 2nd into the 8th? Okay, that feels good. Right, here we go. Okay. Alright, so right from the start, we have the Queen of Swords. That is an air sign individual, a Gemini, Libra, or an Aquarius. Now, this individual is an individual that is really a straight talker. They're going to pretty much use logic. They use reason to get their point across. Okay, this type of individual. You're going to be able to recognize this individual because they're going to be the person that's pretty much tell it like it is. Okay, they're going to keep things straight with you. Now, this individual is not only telling it to you straight, but also they're looking to kind of take the reins of the situation. They're kind of taking in charge of of really getting to take things to the next level. So this is an air sign individual that's logical, that's pretty much a straight shooter, that pretty much tells it like it is. But they're also kind of taking charge of the situation. They're pretty much moving things in a direction that they want them to go into. Okay, to pretty much get the most optimum outcome for the situation. Now, with that being said, however, there is a bit of a crossroads that they appear to be at right now. It could be a situation where because they are such a straight shooter and pretty much tells it like it is, I'm getting a sense here that there's a sense that they may have been considered maybe being a little bit overbearing, maybe being a little bit too bossy, and this revelation has become kind of clear to them. So they're kind of like they want to take charge. Their personality is that they got to be a straight shooter. They got to tell it like it is. They got to assert themselves and kind of pull things the way that they want them to go, which is something that's just their personality. But they are becoming aware that I'm kind of at a crossroads right now because they really, really, really like you. But they're really kind of having to take a step back to kind of figure out how exactly can I get this individual to kind of notice me without being so kind of bossy, without being so demanding, in other words, without them being too much to take. Because some people, when they're straight shooters and they use logic and they assert themselves, they can come off as being maybe like a bit too much to deal with. Okay, they're too much of it. There's a such thing as being too much of a straight shooter. There's a such thing as somebody taking too much control of a situation. This is what they're used to doing, so they're kind of like at a crossroads. Being at this crossroads here, you got the Nine of Wands. So they're kind of sitting back. They're kind of being, they're kind of being a little bit defensive. Okay, that's the energy coming off it. They're being a little bit defensive. They have your best. They have all best intentions for you, and you're not exactly responding the way that they thought that you would. So they're kind of like at a loss for words, in other words. Now, with that being said, we also have a younger fire sign individual here. Okay, Page of Wands. Okay, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Now, this individual has a vast array of exploratory energy. Okay, so this is the individual that likes to do new things, likes to go on new adventures, they're the individual likes to try a new restaurant, that likes to go, they like to do a lot of traveling to like really different places and things like that. So they have a lot of exploratory energy, okay? And they're a younger fire sign individual as well. So you have youth and you have, with that exploratory energy, I mean, it's just, you know, it's like a new, fresh, bold energy that we're dealing with here. Now, with that being said, okay, at least in their mind, they've done a whole lot of self-reflecting, soul searching, putting things together. So they've done a lot of self-examination within themselves. So they're just an adventurous, spirited individual in and of themselves, okay? With that being said, though, we got the Tower card here, all right? Now, what this is telling me here is, first of all, I got to get a little bit of clarification on this Tower card, because to get a little, I have a hunch where things are going, but I want to make sure. So, give me some clarification on this Tower card here. Watch this Tower card here. Give me some clarification on this Tower card. Watch this Tower card here. Give me some clarification on this Tower card. Watch this Tower card here. All right, so this is interesting. Because this individual is has such an exploratory energy, okay? Like I said, they've done a lot of work and soul searching on themselves, okay? You got the Nine of Swords here. So even though they're an adventurous spirit and they feel as though they've done a lot of self-reflecting, there's this feeling that maybe they're a little bit, you know, they're not being taken, especially in terms of relationship with you, that you're really not responding to them at all, okay? That, you know, at least in their minds, it's this aspect of they're a little bit too much out there. They're a little bit too much out there, a little bit too exploratory. They're a little bit too different from the norm, okay? And they're aware of that, and that's causing them a bit of anxiety, a little bit of depression, because they're really trying to get your attention with being something new, something fresh, something exploratory. You know, they're really laying it on thick with this really different perspective of things, and it's causing them a bit of anxiety and depression. Because of that, we got the Tower moment here, where things it just kind of blew up. And they don't know what to do. They're kind of like lost in translation with the situation. They don't know how to get your attention. They don't know, you know, they don't know what they're doing wrong. They don't know what they're doing right. They're just kind of lost. And so they pretty much just decide to just blow up the whole thing, and pretty much just, you know, they pretty much kind of blown themselves up to the point where they're kind of out of the equation. So they're on the periphery, but as far as pursuing a relationship with you, they pretty much don't know what to do. Like I said, they've done a lot of soul searching and self-examination of themselves, you know, but it's just like they're, in other words, they are a round peg trying to go into a square hole, and it's just kind of not working for them, and they can't figure out what's going on, okay? And finally here we have a water sign individual. Now this individual, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, this is an individual who is very courteous, is very generous, okay? They're very wise when it comes to being courteous and generous as well. So they're you know, they're naturally a very a Gentile spirit, if you will, and very gentle, very courteous, and on top of that, they're very sure of themselves, okay? All right. So this 9 times out of 10 is an older individual, okay? And they've been around a little bit. That's why, and they've imbued they've imbued a lot of sense of wisdom. They're very wise when it comes to who to be generous with, who to be courteous with. That's just their natural inclination of what they do. They're not going to do that for everybody, okay? Because that wisdom part we're talking about. But this is an older individual, and you know, they're very selective. But when they do find an individual that they really click with, where there's a sense of harmony with, they're very generous with that individual, and they're very courteous with that individual. So that's what's going on here with this situation. So with that being said, let's see what kind of strengths are my Aries going to be dealing with here. What kind of strengths are my Aries going to be dealing with here? What kind of strengths are my Aries going to be dealing with here? Ooh. Okay, so that's pretty good. So right from the beginning, we have the Ace of Swords here. So you are approaching things, my Aries, with a sense of mental clarity. You have a sense of what you want, and you have a sense of how to get it. So there's no you're very clear when it comes to the things that you're trying to achieve in a relationship. You have a certain criteria, certain boxes, if you will, you need to be checked. You need to have checked, and you're very clear on what those things are. So that's good. You're very clear-minded about what you want and how to get it. In addition, here you do fancy yourself. Here we have the Knight of Cups. You do fancy yourself to be pretty dominating, pretty dashing, daring. You're kind of feeling yourself a little bit. So that's good. You're kind of feeling yourself. You're pretty much figure you're pretty attractive individual. So that the confidence is not lacking there. That's good. Also, in addition here, we got the Nine of Pentacles, and this Nine of Pentacles is telling me, you know what? You are comfortable in your own skin. You're happy with yourself. Okay. Your money, your finances are pretty solid. Okay. And this also tells me that you're not going to be willing to settle for just anything. All right. You are willing to be single, because this Nine of Pentacles quite often, it represents a person that is happy, comfortable, if you will, in their own skin, financially, pretty much in a pretty much financially stable situation, but also an individual that is happy being single. Okay, and that often is the case with an individual that's waiting for that right situation, that person that they really click with, that they really vibe with. This is like this flow of energy, that's unrestricted energy here between them and another individual, where there's some kind of synchronicity there. So right now you're like, you know what, you're willing to be single until you come across that individual. You're more than willing to be single. Now, you've also done a lot of soul searching and not a lot of self-examination, if you will, within yourself. So you've pretty much uh, naturally that would be the case with a person that's pretty much comfortable with themselves. There's a certain amount of soul searching and self-reflecting that does take place, but it's a healthy self-reflection as well. They're looking for someone that they're holding on a higher. They're looking for someone that's vibrating at a higher level, and that's because they themselves have taken the time out to raise their vibration up. Okay, and so if they can do it, they can take the time out to raise their vibration up. They want to have a relationship with somebody that's on that same level. It's not a sense of arrogance. It's just a sense of, you've put the time in to do the work. You want someone else to put the time in to do the work on themselves as well. In addition here, you're willing to be loyal and very devoted to the right individual. Okay, so that's why I said you're not looking to have one night stands, or something, a quick interlude. You're looking for something solid. Okay, something solid, something something reliable. Okay, and also, like I said, you're also looking for someone that's going to be devoted and loyal to you as well. So loyalty is a key factor here. Really being really being loyal, and really being devoted is something that I'm really picking up off these cards here. In addition here, you're looking to start something fresh, something brand new. So there's not going to be any kind of return of any X or anything like that. You're looking for something new, something fresh, out with the old and with the new. You're looking to have a fresh start, something fresh, something new, someone that you can pour your love into, someone you can trust, okay? Someone you can depend on. So that, it's depend on emotionally, not monetarily, but depend on emotionally, spiritually, to help. So someone you can grow together with. So that's what you're looking for. So you're not looking to have any kind of rebounds or anyone from the past or anything like that. New year, new energy, new growth, new opportunities. Also, you're looking to be generous and be courteous as well. You make very wise choices when it comes to generosity, when it comes to courteousness. Um, and so, like I said before, that's because of a lot of that self-reflecting that you've been doing, that you've done here. And finally here, there's a sense of fertility, abundance, material happiness. And so fertility being the key here. So when you do run into that individual that you really vibe and you click with, you're going to be very serious here about wanting to have children with this individual. Being with this individual for the long haul. That's why I said something. The feeling here is something fresh, something new. Um, and you want a new start. And I'm also getting a sense here that whatever the individuals you dealt with in the past, you looked at them as mainly learning experiences to kind of get you to where you are right now. So you're looking to propel yourself forward. No exes, no one that you used to date. Something fresh, something new. So and also you're serious enough at this point where you want to have children as well. Okay, so with that being said, let's see what types of things from your past could possibly affect the outcome of this situation. What types of things from your past could possibly affect the outcome of this situation? What types of things from your past could possibly affect the outcome of this situation? Show me cards that you see. Show me cards that you see. Show me cards that I need to see. Here we go. One thing for sure is removal of burdens. You don't want to have it. You don't want to deal with anyone else's burdens. Again, like I said, you're independent. You're comfortable in your own skin. Okay. Again, fresh new perspective. That also goes hand in hand with what I was talking about as far as not wanting to have to deal with anybody's exes or anything like that. You don't want anybody's baggage. You don't want to deal with any old baggage, no rebound stuff, any of that. This is complete moving away from the burdens that you were dealing with. Again, you looked at the past, people you've dealt with in the past as mainly learning experiences. They were something that need to happen to kind of get you to the next phase of your life. So if you, in other words, you've experienced, again, the experiences in the past you've dealt with dealing with people's burdens and things of that nature. So that's why you wouldn't do it now, because you don't want to deal with any old baggage. So again, there's the removal of burdens there. In addition, here we got the Eight of Swords. Okay, and that's in the past. It's easy to see. Like I said, there's been an evolution here. That you're pretty much, you're pretty much, you've moved on and you've expanded your palette here. Um, Anyone that's going to make you feel restricted and restrained, is absolutely going to be a deal breaker. I mean, you're not even going to put yourself in a situation to even be in the same area as someone that has that type of mindset that makes you feel restricted. Okay, like I said before, you're casting a wide net. So you're open to you're open to a great deal of things. Now, with that being said, coming back to this younger fire sign individual, that it, again. The reason, again, that individual did some soul searching within themselves to have new, fresh, exciting energy. It may just be the fact that it's not so much that the reason why they may have been so devastated is because, again, you have cast a wide net. You are open to having a lot of different experiences. It may just be they're just not your type, and they don't want, and they really much don't understand it. They know that you're into kind of fresh, new things, different perspectives. You have a very wide net that's been cast, and maybe there's this sense of confusion on their part that's causing this tower movement that causes it to kind of just blow all up, kind of left them with a sense of wonderment, like they don't know what to do. But like I said, you pretty much know, you pretty much have a pretty clear perspective of who you want and what you want that person to be like. Finally here, we have Knight of Wands, and that is passion. You definitely are looking for someone rather, that's going to stimulate not only your mind, but your body as well. You want to be stimulated sexually. You want to move towards your passions. Before, you kind of like were in a mindset of, whatever came your way just came your way. Now you're a lot more particular. Okay, you're a lot more particular with who you spend time with and on. And you want to move towards your passions. Again, stimulation of mind, body, and even soul in this regard. So there's the whole gambit here. In the past, you didn't deal with that. You're young and experienced, but like as I said before, you use this as more of a learning experience. So with that being said, let's see what additional information Spirit wants to give before I shut this thing down. What additional information does Spirit want to give before I shut this thing down here? What additional information does Spirit want to give before I shut this thing down? What additional information does Spirit want to give before I shut this thing down? Wow. Okay, so time. Spirit wants to say it's going to take some time, okay, for you to find that individual that you really have synchronicity with. Okay, it's going to take a little bit of time for that to happen. All right. So Spirit wants you to know it's going to be a little bit. It's going to be a little bit. Okay, it's not going to happen quickly because nothing good ever happens quickly. All right. The other thing is perspective. Also put things in perspective as well. And as I was telling you, anything worth having takes time. You have certain criteria, in other words, certain criterion that you're needing. You have certain needs that you need to have fulfilled here. And you need to put things into perspective. The reason it's going to take that long is because you have very specific things that you're looking for, okay, in a person. And so that's going to take, excuse me, it's going to take a little bit of time. But finally, also Spirit wants to say this. Expectation. With all of that being said, it is totally reasonable and rational that you have high expectations, okay, with the person that you bring into your life, the person you want to have children with, the person you want to share your time with, you want to share your dreams with. It's totally reasonable to have high expectations. If you put the work into developing your character and your certain perspective, at the very least that you can ask if someone also has done the same work on themselves to develop themselves spiritually, mentally, psychologically, those type of things. So you're looking to find somebody that's going to be a good fit for you because you want to have children with this individual. So again, it's totally okay to have high expectations. So with that being said, I'm going to shut this thing down now. This is a general weekly love reading. If this did not resonate with you, that's totally okay. I'll leave a link I'll leave a link below. Feel free to get a personal reading. If this did resonate with you, that's even better. You want to know a little bit more about the situation, again, feel free to hit the link below so you can get a personal reading. My name is Adonis. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.